welcome to Josefina Sienna. My name is Madison, and the doll I'm holding in this photo, which was taken years ago, is my very first American Girl doll, Josefina. I feel like I will film a few videos lately and then go off of the face of the internet, and then every video I come back stating what was going on. Long story short, so I put this Canva plus University of Washington because right now what's taking up most of my time is graduate school and student teaching. And I'm a full year unpaid student teacher and taking graduate school classes. And right now, I think my workload is like 90 hours a week. And, of course, 2 months before graduation, UW decides to collaborate with Canva. So if you're a UW student, you'll now get like premium services for free. And I thought I would just take advantage of that before I graduate and I'm booted off the system. It starts on April 1st. So if you see a lot of like pre-filmed videos or maybe some spring videos in summer or fall, I'm just pre-filming to use this benefit that I paid tons of tuition for. I also wanted to mention that literally, I don't know when this started. For the last couple of months, I have just like been in a slump, like in a doll slump. Like I'm not doing anything related to dolls. I'm not doing anything with crochet. I'm not doing anything. And I don't know, maybe it's like a quarter life crisis at the age of 29 for me. I have been reverting a little bit to Harry Potter, which I know is controversial due to the author's ideologies. And so part of this is I have made an argument on AGIG or American Girl Instagram, and I think it needs to be discussed. And I had some brilliant discussions on Instagram, but I also think it needs to be said on this platform as well, just because it's not just exclusive to Instagram. I think it's all elements of social media and not exclusive to just American Girl or 18-inch doll community or doll community. It's like every aspect in our lives. Also, I will say, I think some of the mental, maybe challenges that I'm facing is student teaching is unpaid for. And I think especially living in 2025, I know nurses go through the same, social workers. I think all of that is dehumanizing the experience. And many of you can say, oh, you can get a student loan for that. Personally, I don't think any labor should go unpaid. I think it's ethically and morally wrong to do so. And given the climate of the Department of Education, which also is like stressing me out because as much as I love the profession of teaching, reality-wise, there has been through the Department of Education a lot of forgiveness. There is the public student loan forgiveness, where if you serve at a public school for 10 years, you can get all of your federal loans forgiven. There's the teacher forgiveness program. You teach for 5 years and you basically teach in a shortage area within the nation for 5 years. And then I even got awarded this. It's like a teach grant. So you get money to pay for your tuition, but after you graduate, you have to teach in a subject shortage area in a Title I school for 4 years. And then we also have our income-driven programs, and based on teacher salaries and the quantity of time of grading and lesson planning, when we're only salary paid for the instruction of the students, is not equal to what other people in other industries get paid. And so I think truthfully, I do not recommend why my program has us designed to be a full-time student teacher and a full-time graduate student. I barely sleep, I barely eat. I already think prior to just adding the coursework we're already exploited as is. So this kind of intertwines with today's topic. It's kind of more just thing my TED Talk or thoughts or opinions. You can agree to disagree. I truly think it is a blessing that not all of us humans think alike, and we can learn from one another and from our own experiences. So one of the biggest issues that I've had, and it's with social media, is contradicting hypocrisy. And I think there is this cultural shift of the cancel culture. And what I'm talking about, I can speak on my own experience. I will say I got these as a gift. I didn't let my Instagram know because 10 minutes before I posted on Instagram, I fell down the stairs and I'm still suffering from falling down the stairs. And I'm 90% sure I broke my tailbone. But because I'm an unpaid student teacher, there's limitations on what I can do for treatment. Also, when I'm student teaching, I commute an hour each way. And because I'm not by contract, like I'm not a paid employee, I don't have a bathroom key, and all the staff bathrooms are locked, meaning for 12 hours a day, I don't have a key to go to the bathroom. And it has been going on since September. I've mentioned it to the school. I've mentioned it to the district. I do not wish this type of pain to anyone. And the fact that this is my experience, and I'm almost on the verge of tears, that someone, and I've mentioned it in my description, had the audacity to say that I need to learn better. I'm anti-LGBTQ. I'm transphobic. When I put in the message, get to know me first and know my story. And these were a gift from my boyfriend, and had the audacity to say, I need to do a better job in my relationship with my boyfriend to educate on politics. My counter argument to that is, I think this is hypocritical. You can agree to disagree. The message that people are saying they're boycotting J.K. Rowling, the author, is because of the harmful and hurtful things she said. Yet those, not all, there's always a select few who ruin it for a lot of people. These select few are just spouting this similar, or if not worse, harmful things that they're against. And truthfully, you're going to lose people to fight for your cause with these ideologies. They're harmful, they're hurtful, they're radical. Both, we're in a very extreme political climate. Again, if you would have known me, my bachelor's degree is in politics. And the one thing they have told us, if we wanted to be a political scholar, is you have to drop your own biases and look at the world through a lens of both sides to learn. And the reality is I feel disconnected because I try to see both sides, but I feel like a dystopian. I don't know how to say it, and I'm not trying to hype myself up. It feels dystopian right now because it's just two polar vortexes, when the reality is, and through various years of studies of my own, and just because I have a piece of paper that says I study politics does not mean I'm an expert, there's so much similarities between us. We want safety, we want love, we want compassion, we want food, shelter, the basic human rights. But we're allowing these political leaders to divide us apart. And it's coming from, because I'm typically politically more left-leaning, even though I'm an independent. And this is getting into my own personal TED Talk of are in the situation, and mainly because, not exclusively to the Democratic Party, but a lot of people in this ideology sphere are pushing people who are very similar and like-minded away from each other when we should have been uniting one another in ideologies and morality to combat this. And it is not MAGA. There was a comment about me being MAGA for critically thinking against the party. And all I'm going to note is critically thinking and analyzing has improved our society through many centuries for innovation of change. And if we don't critically think and analyze our society, we can't innovate for change. And so I don't know where, again, is this toxicity, and it's rampant ever since the inauguration of the Trump administration within AGIG and through my own experiences. This image is provided by Canva, and it's the one that I used earlier. I think also it comes to a point where there's this culture on social media where we need to inform, engage, and if you're not chronically online, you are not woke. You're not informed enough. I need to inform you. I need to learn this. And to some people, yes, it can be informed. Even through my own experiences, some people will go into DMs and say, you need to be educated in very almost hyper aggressive way. And I think as a social society, this not biologically healthy to be chronically online. It's not healthy to be stagnant sitting for hours on end. I know I'm guilty of both. And this is not to call out to one person. But this, if someone needs to leave social media for their own mental health and then comes back and may have been uninformed, doesn't mean is your time, your right, in your own way to control how they learn, how they grow, how they get informed. And it comes across as almost controlling. We're not allowing the person who may have not known the situation to learn and blossom and grow like a flower within the spring on their own. When people message in DM saying, you need to be informed, or this is harmful, or you won't understand my experiences, I think, and I can, again, speak to my own experiences. If you have similar experiences to this, if you feel brave enough, you can share them in the comments. This is I don't think the most appropriate way to go, and B, it comes off as controlling. You want people to learn on your time, your accord, and it's downright respect because everyone in life learns lessons at their own rate, own time. Everyone learns about, let's say, example, financing and how to finance for a doll budget, for example. Some people really struggle to stick with their doll budget. Other people are very meticulous and stay to it. Others are still figuring it out and how to work a budget and how to create a budget. And you know what? All elements are okay. Also, it's going to be a lack of allowing differentiality to people. And I'm not justifying J.K. Rowling. And if you want to spew that and spread misinformation, go ahead. It's just more of the whole argument I'm trying to say is people are so easy to look at an Instagram story, especially on AGIG, instead of reaching out to the DMs and looking at both sides of the story and getting to learn that person. Maybe you could have had a best friend and you only had that one single thing that you have difference. But society and a community at large, we're just bandwagoning a block from one simple story. and without hearing from the other side of the party. Now, this doesn't justify racism and really rude remarks, homophobia, transphobia, but it's the jumping to conclusions. It's not getting to know the person. It's only seeing a simple post. And there's this really good YouTube video. I'll link it down below. It's called A Single Story. And from especially social media and Instagram and maybe even TikTok, we're seeing a single side story of one's lives when there's so many intersectionalities or connectivity within many different aspects of someone's life. So these dolls were a gift from my boyfriend, and this was the first and only photo that I have this year of Dress Mold Week. I'm working 90 hours days, and I was on the verge of tears of just needing to go to the bathroom. And I almost went in my pants, and there was a time where I went in my pants. And I was hesitant to post it. I wanted to share about it because if you would have known me and DM'd me, you would have known the whole story of why these dolls mean so much to me. But again, a single side story, and this is what led to this video, is we are so isolated as a society that we don't remember or know how to socialize with one another in a respectful, understanding, empathetic tone. And so if you're here still, thank you. I'm going to transition to a little bit of my story and testimonial. If you feel the need to make a video about sharing your testimony, experiences, hardships, or just need a safe space to just leave it down in the comments, that is as well, because this discussion is being had on my Instagram. I've lost followers over it. People who would want to learn. So, so I have these dolls unboxed. I haven't unboxed them yet. I have been really wanting to do American Girl Films dating tag and unboxing them, but then I have been so hesitant with the amount of hate. I've talked to my sister, who also has a YouTube channel that I will link down below, and her mindset was and why I was brave enough to post these photos after having them for a month is, if people really want to know you, they will, and those who will just spew hate will continue, and that's just going to be telling on them. So I have Cornelia on the right with the Hufflepuff My Life As, and then I have Iris with the Slytherin one. And I will explain in the next photo. I got all 4 dolls from my boyfriend, why they mean so much to me. So I have been on the fence of if I wanted to be personal or not, and truthfully, people can make their own conclusions. If you want to say I'm transphobic, go ahead. If you want to say I'm not in the LGBTQ community, go ahead. But the truth is, it's going to speak more to you and your volumes versus me, and I am acknowledging that I'm not perfect. I don't think logically when I'm in a state of distress. I don't think most humans do. And I don't think most people need to realize, especially on this chronic social media train of a single story of cancel culture, that mistakes happen. That's part of growing as a human. And so why Harry Potter meant a lot to me was because that I have very severe test anxiety. I think I've only passed 2 exams ever in my life, and that's my driving exam and another exam. I'm in graduate school and I never took the SAT. You can bypass the SAT and ACT by going to a community college, fun fact. I did that due to my severe testing anxiety. So this severe testing anxiety started from K-12 education. When I was in 3rd grade, I had a very unstable home life and going through another situation that I will not mention now. that led me to have a non-passing state score that put me in a reading specialist when I was above grade level, and this was in the early 2000s prior to acknowledging of social emotional learning, as well as abuses in the house. It was more of just different ideologies of, if you're not listening to the teacher or if you're not performing academically, then there must be something wrong with you. So I did not like my situation. I didn't connect. I knew how to read, and so I used the Harry Potter books to end up going from reading specialist, almost in special education, to advanced reading in a matter of 2 years. And for me, that was something that was triumph. Like, I think the truth is, it still stagnates my abilities for testing. And this is why even me in the field of education, standardized testing is not an accurate representation of student academic growth and achievement. So I mentioned that I was barely doing anything dull related and crochet, and I've had like a mental point. In the month of April, I'll be turning 30, and I think just the stressors of working, stressors of graduate school, stressors of politics, and then also my age. My 20s is going to be closed, and I don't know why, but I think it has to do with 10 years ago, I lost my father to a very tragic way, with a work-related incident that was a complete emergency. Corporations gaslit us about what happened. And now with recent politics with capitalism, I've seen it for the last 10 years prior to the Trump administration. But now I think, like, for me, it's like, once I turned 30, I'm graduating from graduate school, but also it's been a decade without my own father. And prior to his death, I haven't seen him in 3 years. And I didn't see him for 3 years, mainly because my parents divorced. And then in a few years post-divorce, my mom uprooted us from Illinois to Washington, whereas my dad stayed in Illinois. And so there was the long distance parent relationship, which is also not easy at all. I only saw him like a month out of the whole year every year for summer break. And that, in my opinion, is also very deeply rooting in trauma as well. It's because when my parents divorced, he was in the closet. There was a lot of lynching going on in the Midwest with that community and the LGBTQ. And so there was fear. I've seen it my whole life. Prior to 2015, he passed in 2014. And he never got to live to see the equality and equity that the LGBT community had at all. And so the last time I saw him, because I was a big Harry Potter fan growing up, he knew that, was to see the midnight premiere of the last Harry Potter movie. And now that I been a decade without him, sorry, I'm crying, finally hitting 30, I just regressed. And I think that's a normal human emotion when grieving. And I think it says a lot of privilege. It says a lot about social emotional and a lot of privilege of trauma, of telling someone that how to cope with their griefs. And on top of me coping with my grief, I mentioned that all I did was post these videos as something that I enjoyed doing. And I was fearful, but I did it for myself to conquer that fear. And I received messages from various people who I'd never messaged before that I'm transphobic, not with the LGBTQ community, as well as a fake, because I'm posting Indigenous cuties as well. And that's why in a few of my Instagram stories, you'll see little marks like, get to know me before you come bully me, get to know me first. And it's just a trend. It is such a normalized trend in modern society and social media that I'm fatigued of. I don't know if anyone else is. I haven't seen anyone else, literally no one else on social media discussing this. This is exhausting. And that's also part of many reasons why I go on hiatuses. And I think when you work 90 hours a week, you know and understand that pain, and that type of pain and mentality is a completely doesn't even relate to not having the equity to use a bathroom. So I have felt dehumanized, demoralized, and exploited. And so I was on the verge of tears when this showed up on my story, and I was like, you know what? I need to do something for me. I need to do something for myself. I haven't done anything crocheted. I haven't done anything doll related that I know brings me joy. And then lately with my birthday coming up, which should be something I should be celebrating and not crying over. This came up, in my opinion, the perfect time. I wanted to be involved in the community in some way. I didn't have necessarily the time to make the videos, and so I just wanted to dive into this. So here's the first sweater. I have my Truly Me 31 or 37 that still needs a new wig. And this is just the process of me crocheting it. And I haven't crocheted in months. And this was just honestly a mental health thing. I was on the phone with my significant other, and they were like, you need to do more to treat yourself and stop worrying so much about what other people think. Because part of the many family abuses that I have is I was raised to be a chronic people pleaser. And so I was hesitant to even share about this at all, be engaged in the community due to the political ideologies of the author. And I've kind of gotten to the point of I was so fed up with what other people think and try to do something for myself that I just did it. And I think truthfully is humans make flaws. We all have our interests. We all need to find a way to survive, especially mentally, physically, morally, spirituality. And there are many radicalized ideologies and politics on both sides of the party. And I say both sides of the party because I don't stand with MAGA. I don't stand with Trump. But we can't pretend that the other party, the Democratic Party, is completely innocent as well. And to be politically active for a long period of time, you have to take breaks. You have to literally find ways for your mental psyche, or you're going to go way down in a depression, in a dark place. Trust me, I've been there. The most depressed I've been was graduating with my degree with all the bullshit of politicians against humanity, and mostly my moral stance with humanitarian services. And to argue in the political sphere is our love and beholded American Girl from Mattel supports the genocide by proxy, having a CEO who's Israeli American, of Palestinians and the genocide of that. Yet you won't catch me sitting here pointing fingers, because I've just stated my mentality that there is a lot of political turmoil over a lot of people right now, where there's high level of stress. Our economy is terrible. Cost of living is outrageous. Feel like, in my own opinion, a life failure because I live at home at 29 versus my own parents didn't have to because they had a better economy than I did. But I'm not going to point the finger of, oh, they're supporting genocide because they're buying American Girl. I think that's really toxic and radicalized. And are there problems? Absolutely. But there's more appropriate and mature ways to address it than these toxicity cancel cultures. It's been years at this point. I'm just wanting the cancellation cultures to occur. So I rambled a lot, mostly political, more than like the Harry Potter side of sphere. If you want to join, I highly recommend it. It's AG Wizarding Academy. There's a potion thing tonight. I think it's due by Friday. I will probably be posting it. You also saw my Truly Me 118 that I haven't introduced. There's a lot of dolls I haven't introduced. I haven't been active. I think the main part of the video essay is just stop spreading hate. Like, you don't know the entire story of someone's life, and your behaviors can ruin someone's day. Like, for me, I don't want to engage with Instagram at all, but I'm going to challenge myself to be engaged in the community because that's something I wanted to do since the beginning of the year, but due to time constraints and adulting responsibilities, that was something I could not do. So the Harry Potter posts are like the only posts that I have for Just Mold Week, and truthfully, I'm just kind of glad that I found some time to participate. I wanted to participate in the I Love Addie week, but I was in the midst of finals during that week and midterms because I am in like weird scheduling with everything, and it just didn't work out. So, yes, these photos may be controversial to some, but they sparked me joy. There's a lot more meaning behind it, and this video essay is about the topic of Harry Potter with my life as. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to watch it just because it's not my best quality of editing. I just got CapCut back. I just am figuring out my intro again because I lost my old intro when the TikTok ban came to be. And truthfully, I'm happy with these. Indigenous Cuties is still going on. I wish I was more active in that after, but I did not predict that my schedule would have been like literally overnight busy after posting that. Yeah. So lately, especially making this video, and I've been on the fence about posting it, hypocritical because of calling out, like, I think a few months ago, Rainbow Unicorn Cat one with Posh Peanut. And I would think, truthfully, there's a different scope and scale of the situation, how we address it. And I'm not perfect. If I'm a hypocrite, you can comment down below. I rather have an address in a video of what I need to work on, what I need to strive to do better, and versus just being harmful. Calling it's too damn cute. I am telling the truth that this Harry Potter stuff is more for me and my own mental health and sanity, for longevity to keep going. And I would not bash anyone down. I try not to. I try in every situation when everyone DMs me, I was like, please get to know my story. Please get to know my situation. And some people do and some people don't. And that's okay too, because human-wise, we're not capable to be best friends with everyone in the world. And so I will hopefully see you in a lighter, brighter video. I hope to be more consistent. Everything on my workload is getting lighter, which is a good sign, I hope. Yeah, I've been super busy since June of 2023. And once it hits June 25, I am going to be having a lot more free time. Yes, teachers don't get a lot of free time because of grading and stuff, but juggling a full-time graduate school curriculum, like course load, and student teaching and creating the lesson plans and the grading, oh my gosh, I don't wish that on anyone. And if you are in that situation, you got this. Take one day at a time. Don't listen to outside voices and believe in yourself, and have a great weekend.